Hello everybody, welcome back to the channel. This is Thursday on our channel, but it also happens to be Halloween. So since it is the end of the Halloween season, I thought we would take a look at the Halloween franchise and rank them according to what I think is the best to the worst. So let's jump right into it. Alright, so Halloween is officially over. But if you're like me, you spent most of October actually watching a bunch of horror movies. Halloween being the definitive one, the definitive franchise to binge watch. And I usually try to binge watch that entire franchise on Halloween Day. So I thought we could end Halloween by taking a look at the franchise and then me ranking what I think is the best to the worst of the franchise and letting you know why. But it will just be my opinion, of course. With the movies themselves being all about Michael Myers, with the exception of just one movie, Halloween 3 Season of the Witch, I'm not going to exclude that movie. I'm going to include that in this ranking. So let's get started. Starting off at number 1 is Halloween 1978, because Halloween 1978 is a classic in every way. It redefined the horror franchise, the slasher franchise. You can't go wrong with that movie. Now, I do know a few people I've met over the years that like other slasher movies better, but you have to give this movie its props. This is the movie that sort of set the slasher films up for what they would become eventually, and the slasher films we know today. At number 2, we have to talk about Halloween 2 from 1981, because Halloween 2 from 1981 is sort of that perfect sequel. Now, I also know people that don't like the fact that Laurie Strode was Michael Myers' sister and all this other stuff that happens throughout the movie, but I love that part. I think the whole family dynamic of it is what makes Michael Myers scary. I think it's one of the things that helps that franchise along. Sure, it's scary to not always know the motives of the killer, but like I said, the Halloween franchise has redefined the way we think of horror. And with it redefining the way we think of horror, we have to look at the entire picture. And this sequel came out, even though John Carpenter apparently really did not want to do this sequel, it came out and it was a success. This sequel was every bit as good as the original for a lot of fans, and it is the definitive sequel slasher film. Next, we have to jump all the way to Halloween 2018, because playing devil's advocate, Halloween 2018 coming in my third highest rated film in the Halloween franchise, there is a reason for this. You take away the Laurie Strode sister bit, and you kind of take away everything that made that sequel, and this becomes the second sequel. I didn't go into this expecting it to be a wonderful thing. I went into this expecting not to like it because I didn't like the fact that they were ignoring all the other films. But it delivers, and it delivers pretty iconically too. It really does live up to the Halloween franchise that you've grown to love. And that's what makes the Halloween 2018 work. So then we have at number 4, Halloween the Curse of Michael Myers from 1995. I have ranked Halloween Curse of Michael Myers from 1995 at number 4 because this movie is one that I thoroughly enjoy. No other particular reason. There's not anything that makes this movie stand out. In fact, a lot of people critically pan this one as being one of the worst in the franchise, and I personally do find it kind of fun. And then you also have the fact that you have a young Paul Rudd, and you can never go wrong with Paul Rudd, so I really do think that this movie deserves its spot. Coming in at number 5 is Halloween 2007. Yes, the Rob Zombie Halloween is in my number 5 place. And the reason being, it's another one of those cases where I didn't think I was going to go in and enjoy it because I didn't think we needed to know what made Michael Myers the way he was. We kind of got that in the first movie, and I didn't think it needed to be expanded upon. But it was expanded upon, and it was expanded upon in a way that only Rob Zombie could have done. Now, whether or not you like Rob Zombie's way of making films, or whether or not you are a fan of this particular Halloween film, you have to give it one thing. He took us all the way back to before Michael Myers was who we know him as today. And then he sort of gave us that origin story we never knew we needed. And there are parts of that that stand out to me because it did have a pretty good setup. Coming in at number 6 is, of course, Halloween 2 from 2009. Yes, the Rob Zombie sequel comes in at my number 6 place. And the reason it does is, again, because it's something we didn't know we needed. Now, this one, I remember thinking to myself that it was going to be the hospital movie redone by Rob Zombie. And that's what I expected. And that expectation was diverted, and I was kind of upset by that. I spent a lot of this movie not really enjoying it as much as I should have until I watched it a second time. And upon watching it a second time, I feel that this movie does deserve a lot of props. It does have some of the more questionable plot points that we've ever gotten in a Halloween film. And it is divisive among fans. But I do rank it this way because there are a lot of good scenes and a lot of good things and ideas in this movie that I think could have been expanded upon had Rob Zombie done another Halloween film. Coming in at number 7 is Halloween Season of the Witch. Halloween 3 Season of the Witch from 1982 is my number 7 pick for one of the best Halloween movies. And the reason is because it was different. It did take us to a new place. It did have something new. And I sort of did enjoy this plot. I know it was cheesy, it was odd, it was kind of weird, but it was Twilight Zone weird. And that whole Twilight Zone vibe in the movie really worked for me. I wanted to know what was going to go down. So I really did enjoy this one. So then coming in at number 8 is Halloween 4, The Return of Michael Myers from 1988. The reason that Halloween 4, The Return of Michael Myers is in our number 8 spot is that it is a very good movie. It reintroduces us to Michael Myers after we thought the series was going to step away from him with part 3. And it does this in an iconic way. We also get a look at a brand new addition to the cast, Laurie Strode's daughter. And this was going to be a selling point going forward. This was going to be something that we would see continue. And then the movie kind of just does its thing and leaves us off at sort of a cliffhanger in true Halloween fashion. So the movie's very good. I thoroughly enjoy it. Just, it's on this spot for the reasons that the next movie is on the number 9 spot. And coming in at number 9 is Halloween 5, The Revenge of Michael Myers from 1989. And the reason that this one comes in at number 9 is because this one does have some good characters in it. It does offer up a good plot. But overall, the movie seems like it could have done better at the time. Now, this is one of people's favorites in the franchise, and I totally get it because it set some stuff up that was going to be a lot of fun to watch. And Danielle Harris is amazing in the movie, as she later on would be in the Rob Zombie films. Still amazing. We see her in this film as Laurie Strode's daughter, and Laurie Strode in this film is dead. That's one of many things that they changed and updated and kind of didn't really expand on. And it's this not expanding on that kind of makes me put it in this spot. Coming in at number 10 is Halloween Kills from 2021. And the reason I rank this one at 10 is because while this film was the beginning of the end for many of fans' ideas of what the franchise was going to be, it also had some good ideas. But it is the beginning of this movie that really makes me enjoy it. The beginning, the opening scene sets everything up so great that you can't help but to go along for the ride. And that's why this movie is where it is in the ranking. Coming in at number 11 on my listing is Halloween Resurrection from 2002. And Halloween Resurrection from 2002 is on this list at this spot because I felt like it was, at the time, a letdown. And it really hasn't ever become any more than what I anticipated it to be. I enjoy every single one of the Halloween movies for their own reasons. And this one is no different. It has some scenes that I enjoy and has some moments that I laugh at, probably unintentionally. But it also has some moments that I find to be really amazing. So I put it on the list this low only because it is one that I enjoy probably a little less than some of the others. That brings us to the number 12 spot for the movies, and that is Halloween Ends from 2022 at number 12. Now, I know what you're thinking. That's not all of the Halloween films. How can I rank this one and not make it last? Well, again, it's the idea of it. It's the idea of giving us something different and giving us something kind of strange. And I was down for the ride. I didn't agree with over half of the stuff they put in the movie, but I really did enjoy the journey of it all. And I think that the problem with this movie came in the form of Jamie Lee Curtis finally getting her wish to kill Michael Myers once and for all. I think that had that not been the case, we would have gotten a very different Halloween movie and one that could have been done a lot better. But this movie does have its moments that you can watch and actually enjoy, so I do like it to a degree. And it is on this list this low because there is one other movie to talk about. And that is Halloween H2O from 1998, coming in at our number 13 spot on this ranking. And the reason that I rank this Halloween film last is because it felt like I Know What You Did Last Summer and Scream. More specifically, this felt like Scream as a Halloween film. And when you think about Scream imitating Halloween, this was Halloween imitating the thing that was imitating it. And it really didn't work out that well for it. Number one, they couldn't make the killer just anyone. The killer is Michael Myers, and we knew this from the get-go. And then you have this whole thing with Jamie Lee Curtis, once again, in this film, having the decision to kill Michael Myers, and then they kind of didn't let her do it. But the whole movie is that setup, and it suffers for it. I love the premise of the movie and thought it would be a really good little movie to watch, and it still is enjoyable, and I find a lot of things that I enjoy in the movie. But overall, when I'm looking at Halloween H2O, I just can't help but to see it as a carbon copy of I Know What You Did Last Summer and Scream. But that is where we're going to end this video. That is my rankings for the Halloween movie franchise from best to worst. I want to hear your rankings of all of these movies. And feel free to tell me why. Because all film is subjective and we like different things for different reasons. And I want to hear what you guys have to say. So make sure you do drop me that line. Let me know what is your ranking from the best to the worst in the Halloween movie franchise. As always, we want to hear what you guys think, so make sure you are leaving us that comment in the comment box below, letting us know what you think. Don't forget to share this video with all of your friends. They're going to want to be a part of this crazy conversation we're having as well. And then don't forget to hit that like button. It's free, it helps the channel, and we really do appreciate it. And then Miko says we need more subscribers. And look at this face. You don't want to disappoint Miko. So go ahead and hit that subscribe button. Hit that notification bell while you're down there so you don't miss a single video we do. And then friends, at the end of the day, I know it, you know it, and Miko knows it. Fandom is family.